All right, this is a review for Dead Silence 2007. This is directed by James Wan, and the screenplay is by Lee Winnell. And of course, they did the first Saw movie. So, yeah, I've heard of this for years. It's kind of a forgotten James Wan movie. It basically takes place around a puppet. A lot of puppets in this movie. A lot of puppets. So after his wife meets a grisly end, which happens right away in the movie, Jamie Ashen returns to his haunted hometown in Ravens Friar to find answers. His investigation leads him to the ghost of a ventriloquist named Mary Shaw, who seems to have ties to his entire family tree. This movie flopped when it came out. Budget $20 million, box office $22.4 million. I'm just gonna get into spoilers. I thought the movie was okay. It's not one of James Wan's best or Lee Winnell. You know, I think the Saw movies are way better. Malignant, I'm a big fan of that movie. I need to rewatch that and review that. And Lee Winnell too has done better work. I know they're not fans of this movie. Apparently, years ago, either Lee Winnell or James Wan did a blog post that was then deleted about how there was a bunch of studio interference, and they never want to. I don't know if they've worked with Universal after this, because its production company is Universal Twisted Pictures, which is, I think, both of their production company, and it's distributed by Universal. But apparently the studio kept getting involved and shooting it. They didn't enjoy it. They think it's their worst movie. I don't know if it is. I mean, it's not like it's not a terrible horror movie. It's only like an hour and a half. But I did kind of guess the ending. So, and if you think about the movie, not that much happens in it, which is kind of weird, because, again, this is all spoilers. If you're a James Wan fan or a Lee Winnell fan, I'd say just go check it out. I'll probably never watch this again. There is a Saw reference in it, which I thought was cool. You actually see the little Saw doll, because puppets, but he's just on the ground. They don't really focus on it. You know, the little doll that rides the tricycle. So that was cool. I mean, in a way, it's like, nah, I don't know if you say it's a prequel to Saw. It's not, but that little puppet doll, you could definitely see, like, this is kind of working out some prequel ideas, maybe, I'd say. So, like it says right away, this guy and his girl, they're married. It's implied that she's pregnant, and she gets killed. But right before that, they get delivered this creepy doll, and she doesn't seem that creeped out about it. He does. I would be instantly creeped out if this weird doll is delivered to my house. I don't know who delivered it. You know, like, would I even let it in my, in the house? Like, I don't know. But yeah, and it's this doll right here on the cover, and he's very creepy. There's a lot of creepy things in this movie, especially if dolls creep you out. And then he goes and leaves. He goes and gets Chinese food. She's kind of, it's hinted that she's pregnant, and then of course the doll kills her. You don't really see any of that, but basically what happens is your tongue is ripped out and your mouth is like open like this, kind of like in The Ring or something, like with that, your mouth is like way stretched out, because they're stealing your voice, so then the ventriloquist can use it later. And she dies. Donnie Wahlberg's in this. He's a cop, just like a cop in Saw. So again, the connection to Saw, and this kind of maybe being a prequel to Saw, but it isn't. But it isn't. You know. He suspects that the husband killed her. The guy's straight up like, no. And also this weird doll was delivered to us, and it's creepy. And of course Donnie Wahlberg doesn't believe him. I mean, you've seen this type of thing a million times with cops and like a supernatural setting. They don't believe any of the supernatural stuff. He says, like, I've never arrested a doll for murder. So he's like, we got our eye on you. He's like, am I going to be arrested? He says no. So that he leaves. This guy and his wife were both from the same town. He goes back to the town with the body to bury it. Bob Gunton is in this a little bit as the guy's father. He's been in tons of stuff. Shawshank Redemption, 24. Ghostbusters Afterlife, The Ghost Farmer, Egon Spengler. I don't know why. Is he a ghost in that? I don't know, but he's been in tons of stuff. He's the warden in Shawshank Redemption. Really good actor. And then the guy, some weird things start happening. He goes to his father's house, and he has a new wife he didn't know about. He barely talks with his father. They don't get along. Which is kind of explained later. She's acting very weird, and instantly I was like, I bet she's involved somehow in this. Did she send the doll there? And spoilers, I was like half correct, because basically there's this old lady years ago. She was a ventriloquist, and this is back when Bob Gunton was a little kid, and they built this big theater because the town was booming, and these are all in flashbacks too. There's a lot of flashbacks in this. Seem a little lazy. I think maybe you can kind of tell James Wan and Lee Winnell are just kind of like, all right, let's just get this over with, you know? Because like apparently they both hate the movie, and I wouldn't say I hate this movie. I think James Wan is talented enough to make it, somewhat interesting and watchable. I like Donnie Wahlberg, but anyways, and there's this theater, and this old lady, creepy lady ventriloquist is giving this performance to all these families and little kids, and there's this little kid in the seats. And he starts screaming at her, saying, "This is fake. I can see you talking. It's all fake." And this really pisses her off and the doll off. And the doll's like, "Bring the kid up here. Bring the kid up here." And I was like, I bet that kid's gonna die. And then a few weeks later, the kid disappears. Other people connected to the kid start to die too and disappear. The local town basically creates a mob, and they go and kill the lady. But then soon after, people connected to the mob, people connected to that little kid, I think maybe anyone that was in that room, they start to disappear, they start to die. When Ryan Quanten, who is the star of this, when he goes to the town, it's kind of falling apart. It's the town has seen way better days, and the better days at the height were, I think it was 1941, and that's when that performance was given. And that's pretty much the setup of the movie. And he has the doll with him, Ryan Quanten, in the town when he's burying his wife. Donnie Wahlberg follows him to the town because he suspects him of murder. Donnie Wahlberg has this weird thing where he keeps using an electric shaver in multiple scenes. Thought that was kind of lame and stupid, and those things don't even really work that well, like at all. Like, if you're gonna shave, just shave, but I don't know. And he does it multiple times. It's like his little quirk, and it's like, okay. There are some good effects in this. There's a lot of practical made puppets. Then the main puppet is creepy. At the same time, I was like, why not just take the puppet and like throw it like in a fireplace and burn it up, you know? But I don't know. It's like he's connected to his wife's murder, so he's trying to investigate. And all this leads to that old lady, when she died, they killed her. In her will, she paid to have her buried as a puppet, which is that part is creepy. They actually like take out her eyes and make her kind of into a puppet, and then she has all of these puppets, and she has her buried with them. Like, it's like this huge plot of land where she's in the middle, and there's all these puppets buried around her, and they're basically her children. And I forget what the saying was in this. It's like, she had no children, only puppets. Beware the stare of her. So, and then he's just investigating, but like I said, not that much happens really, because people just start to get killed. Like, in that way, their tongues are ripped out. This all kind of culminates in the end when he goes back to the theater where him and Wahlberg are in there. Donnie Wahlberg just wants to arrest him, but he runs away. He has a shotgun. Then it's revealed there's this huge wall of puppets, and they all start to move. And this is when you see the Saw doll, and the main doll's name is Billy. I think that's a reference to Black Christmas. And then they start shooting at the puppets. He has a lantern. He throws it at them. It causes a fire. The place is going to burn down. She starts attacking them. It's revealed what happened to the little kid, which is also creepy. They turned him into like a human puppet, and he's still in there and like somewhat alive. And yeah, it's really creepy. But it's just kind of, there's just things in this movie, it's just not satisfying, and it's a very dark ending because Donnie Wahlberg ends up getting killed. He just falls off this like ladder thing, and then he gets taken into the smoke, and the old lady kills him, rips his tongue out, and his mouth is like open on the ground, and then his electric razor is on, and they kind of focus on it. That was a little funny, I guess. And then Ryan Quanten is killed too, and so they all die. It's revealed in a flashback that the lady who's with Bob Gunton, his father, Bob Gunton's dead, and he was made into a human puppet, and she's there controlling him. And that shot was cool, but I did kind of guess it. I didn't guess that Rob Gunton would be a puppet. I guessed that lady was somehow involved in this because she's acting very weird, and you know, the father's old and he had a stroke and he can't move that well, and he's on an air system, and it's just the way like right when he gets to his old house, the way it's shot, it's just all, I thought it was a little bit on the nose. Like, so I guess like half the ending, not the Bob Gunton part, but yeah, I don't have much to say about the movie. That's pretty much it for the plot. There's other things that occur too, but like I said, yeah, not that much stuff happens in this movie. And I think you can feel James Wan and Lee Whannell's frustration. Because, yeah, budget 20 million, box office 22. If you do me a favor, smash that like button. Be great. Helps the channel a lot. Like, comment, subscribe also. Let me know if you've seen this. What would if you like it. I know this is like a forgotten movie of his. James Wan is, you know, gone to direct bigger and better things. And same with Lee Whannell, although I did not like his Wolfman movie. Is this better than that? I don't know. I'd probably rather watch this, honestly, than that. Also in this movie, in Dead Silence, and I watched the unrated cut, so all the gore is back in it. I haven't seen the original cut. This is the first time I've ever seen this movie. I think I remember walking in a theater and seeing a poster for it, and just thinking, oh, another puppet movie, creepy puppet movie, you know? But Lee Whannell was so unhappy with the finished product due to studio interference that he decided to write all future scripts on spec, as opposed to pitching an idea to a studio, being paid to write the screenplay, as was the case with this film. Billy was not only the name of one of the dummies in the movie, but also the name of the puppet used by Jigsaw Killer in the Saw movies. Oh, okay. So his name's Billy too. So there's two Billies in this. And of course, that's a reference to Black Christmas. But the film was made into a haunted house at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Due to the film's box office failure, tentative plans for a sequel were abandoned. Probably a good idea. The film was dedicated to the producer Greg Hoffman. He died 2 years before. But yeah, it's just kind of there. It's a time waster. It's only like an hour and a half, and there's this weird blue filter throughout the whole movie. I think it was shot on film, but obviously it was a little too much for me, like the filter. It just kind of made the movie look a little fake. I was just like, you know, could the movie have a little bit more color to it? It's almost like Heat, but it doesn't look good. Really, it doesn't look that good. There are two different versions of the Mary Shaw poem in the movie. The poem goes, "Beware of the stare of Mary Shaw. She has no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, be sure you never ever scream." On the trailer, it was, "Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her, do not scream. She'll rip your tongue out at the seam." That's what she does, yeah. During the climax in the storage area with the 101 dolls, you can see Jigsaw's doll from the Saw film sitting there on the floor, and Edgar Bergen's doll, Charlie McCarthy, on one of the shelves. The doll that Detective Lipton throws over his shoulder in that scene is a replica of the ventriloquist Jimmy Nelson's doll, Danny O'Day. Okay, I don't know who those people are. Edgar Bergen is a famous ventriloquist. Well, the doll kind of looks like him. I thought he kind of looked like Bob Gunton too, the doll. Like maybe like a younger Bob Gunton and with slick black hair. I don't know. But yeah, critical reception. It had 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. People didn't really like it. Oh, in his personal blog, screenwriter Rennell reveals the origin of the film, which he titled Dud Silence, the hellish experience of making a bad horror film. Rennell explains that the film was conceived following the advice of his agent at the time, and that a script doctor was eventually employed by the production studio. Rennell concludes the post with a description of the key lessons that were learned following the Dead Silence experience. "After everything is said and done, I'm almost glad Dead Silence happened, because it gave me an extreme, cold-faced lesson in what not to do. It was like learning to swim by leaping off Niagara Falls. I only wrote scripts on spec now, which means that I write them in my own time without getting paid, and then take them into the world to see if anyone's interested. Never again will I enter the arranged marriage of selling a pitch. I have also become very gun shy about working with studios. In the world of independent film, what you write ends up on the screen. Plus, they don't have the money to bring in script doctors. Works fine for me. Who knows? Maybe one day I will work with a studio again. So, but I think that's about it, though. I would check it out if you're a James Wan and Lee Winnell fan, but it's definitely not their best work. So, but yeah, that's it.